everyone and welcome. Today we're going to address a common UX issue on the web, layout shifts when loading images. I'll walk you through an Angular demo with two implementations of a landing page. In the first, we have a page where images are rendered without size constraints, which causes layout instability. In the second, we'll see how to prevent these shifts by properly managing image dimensions and enhancing the user experience with smooth animations. Let's take a look at our without sizing component. This component is responsible to display all of the images that we have, but without specifying any information about the height or the width of this image. This approach works, however, it has some issues. Because the browser doesn't know the dimensions ahead of time, it has to calculate the layout dynamically as each image loads. This causes layout shifts, meaning elements move around the page while more information is coming over the wire. And how this will look like, we can see in a second. So let's go over here. We have here our little demo running, and when I click here on the without sizing, we can see that we have all of the images, but we also see every time I come onto the page, I disable caching in the DevTools, and also I throttle the connection so that we can see the loading a little bit better. I will slow it down even further. So now we go here, first we have our text, and then we see the images coming in. Let's take a look at our second approach, where we specify the dimensions of the images that we are loading. As we can see here, there's a little bit more code than in the other example, because I also added some improvements to make the overall experience a little bit nicer. The most important part, however, is that we specify the height and the width. And to show you that this is actually the case, I will comment out the other parts here, and then I'm going to reload the page. Every time all of the text and all of the images, they're basically already perfectly positioned, and as soon as all of the data is there, they are displayed. So now let's take a quick look at what I did here. So I will quickly re-enable this, and we have the images. I will throttle. Okay, so it's the best to see it when I switch between the two pages. So going from the without sizing to the proper sizing, we can see that basically everything is very nice in place. And what we have here is, for each image, I picked up the dominant color, and this color I use as background color for the skeleton. And the skeleton is showed while the image is loading. And for this, I'm using the load trigger, which is available on images, which is triggering as soon as all of the whole image is loaded. Once this is done, the skeleton will disappear because I'm setting its display style to none. And then we will see the final image. To make the transition as smooth as possible, I'm using this animations class here. And what I'm animating is the opacity, and also, which is kind of new that it's working, is the display property. And to make it work, we have to mention transition behavior allow discrete. And then every time I switch between the two variations, you can see this one here, it slowly builds up and there's a lot of visual instability. And every time we go here, we see that everything is really nice in place. And that's it. Perfect.